Welcome to my countryside-inspired collection, exploring the beauty of natural living, from the quiet moments in nature, through to the rhythms of rural life. In this episode we delve into bird friends. There's a special kind of joy that comes from sharing your days with birds. In the countryside, they're constant companions, appearing at the window in the early morning, flitting through hedgerows, singing from rooftops, and gathering in the garden as though they've come to check in on you. These bird friends bring color, movement, and music to rural life, and once you begin to notice them, you realize just how much they shape the rhythm of each day. Garden birds are some of the most familiar faces in the countryside. Robins with their bright red chests, bold and curious, often hopping close, as though they want to be part of whatever you're doing. Blue tits and great tits darting in and out of feeders with quick, cheerful energy. Sparrows chattering in groups, always busy, always sociable, and blackbirds singing their rich, warm notes from fence posts and rooftops. Each bird brings its own personality, its own habits, its own little spark of life. There is something deeply comforting about hearing birdsong drift across the garden. It's one of the first sounds of morning, a gentle reminder that the world is waking up. Studies have shown that birdsong can lift our mood, reduce stress, and help us feel more connected to the natural world. But even without the science, you can feel the difference. A garden filled with birds feels alive, welcoming, and full of quiet joy. Birds also play an important role in keeping the countryside healthy. Many garden birds help control pests, eating insects that would otherwise damage plants and crops. The tit family feed their young almost entirely on caterpillars and aphids, making them natural allies for gardeners. Robins and wrens search for beetles and grubs in the soil. Blackbirds turn over leaves looking for insects, helping to keep the garden balanced. Even wood pigeons, often seen as greedy visitors, play their part by spreading seeds and helping new plants grow. Owls, though not garden birds in the usual sense, are treasured countryside neighbors. Tawny owls calling softly at night, barn owls gliding silently over fields. They help control mice and voles, protecting grain stores and smallholdings. Their presence brings a sense of magic to the countryside. A reminder that the land is alive even after dark. Wood pigeons, with their soft cooing and gentle waddling, are a familiar sight in rural gardens. They may eat their share of seeds, but they also bring a sense of calm, often sitting quietly in trees or sunning themselves on fences. Their steady presence is part of the countryside's everyday rhythm. Starlings, with their shimmering feathers and lively chatter, gather in groups that move like a single creature. In winter, their murmurations sweep across the sky in swirling patterns that feel almost otherworldly. Even the most common birds become extraordinary when you take the time to watch them. Feeding birds creates a sense of companionship that grows over time. They learn your routines, when you fill the feeders, when you step into the garden, and when the kitchen light comes on in the morning. Some will wait in nearby branches, watching with bright eyes. Others will swoop in the moment you step away, and over time, you begin to recognize individuals: the bold robin, the shy blackbird, and the blue tit with a slightly crooked tail. They become part of your daily life, familiar and comforting. Birds also mark the seasons in their own quiet way. In spring, the dawn chorus grows louder each day, and nests appear in hedges and trees. Summer brings fledglings, small, fluffy, uncertain, learning to fly and calling for their parents. Autumn fills the garden with migrating visitors, stopping to rest and feed, before continuing their journey. Winter brings the birds closer, gathering around feeders and bird tables, their colors bright against the cold. Living with birds teaches you to slow down and pay attention. You begin to notice the way a wren flicks its tail, the way a blackbird tilts its head to listen for worms, or the way a robin puffs up its feathers on a cold morning. These small details bring a sense of peace, grounding you in the present moment. Birds also remind us of the importance of caring for the land. A garden filled with birds is a sign of a healthy environment, one with food, shelter, and safe places to nest. Planting native flowers, leaving wild corners, and avoiding harsh chemicals all help create a haven for birds and the insects they depend on. In return, the birds help keep the garden thriving, forming a partnership that feels both natural and deeply rewarding. There is something special about knowing that your garden is a place where birds feel safe. A place where they can feed, rest, raise their young, and fill the air with song. They bring joy, companionship, and a sense of connection that enriches everyday life. And in their own quiet way, they remind us that we are part of a much larger world, one that is full of life, beauty, and small wonders waiting to be noticed. Bird friends are more than visitors. They are part of the countryside's heartbeat, part of the rhythm of each day, and part of the gentle magic that makes rural life feel so alive. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you gained some inspiration from our look into natural living. I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. Thank you.